Hey guys, this is Matt at 4hydroponics.com, and today we're going to be talking about thrips. We'll talk about their life cycle and some of the products that we can use to prevent them and control them. First, we'll talk about the identifiers of having thrips and some of the signs that you'll see. Some of the easier ones to pick up are silvering or bronzing of the leaf, depleted chlorophyll, sections of depleted chlorophyll, black little flecks or specks, shiny specks, which is their droppings, and then leaves turning brown, gray, and then starting to crumble and dry. These are all signs of thrip damage. On top of that, if you've seen them, they're light brown colored to dark brown colored and cigar shaped. They do fly, but not relatively well. I've noticed that there's a difference between a fungus gnat and a thrip. Fungus gnats seem to fly relatively well, and thrips seem to be very erratic with their flight and try to get back onto the soil or back onto the plant as quick as possible. So some of those things will, let you know that you have thrips, and then also there's a section of their life cycle that is prone to being into the soil. So if you start seeing things around your soil, moving around your soil on top of other thrip indicators, there's a good chance that it's all just part of the one same problem. The thrip life cycle is going to be an adult lays eggs into plant tissue, and they hatch in about 3 to 5 days. After they hatch, they're going to hang out on your foliage for about 1 to 3 weeks. That's when they do the majority of their damage, causing what we were talking about, the bronzing and the scarring through eating the plants, sucking the plant's juices. After that 1 to 3 week cycle, they're going to go into about a 2-week molting cycle, and some of them do drop down either by choice or just because they fall down into the soil, and that's where they do most of their molting. Some of them stay on the actual leaves, so you will see some of them in the soil when you have a high thrip issue. Some of the products that we're going to use to control this thrip issue, if you feel like you do have that thrip problem, is going to be, majority is going to be Spinaside. These two products are just going to be a good preventative. The first one is just these sticky traps. The thrips are attracted to the blue ones versus the yellow ones. You can open these all the way up and place them on top of your soil, or hang them, try to catch any of the flyers. But they also don't do very well at hanging onto the plant, so you can actually tap the plant relatively firmly, and a good chunk of them will fall down and off. Doing that with a piece of paper or a sticky trap will give you an idea of what kind of population that you're trying to fight or control, and what's the best options for you. And then secondly is the Natnix. The Natnix is a recycled glass made in America, and basically on a microscopic level it's very sharp. If you put a thin layer, about 1/8 of an inch to 1/2 an inch thick, on top of your soil pots, that will definitely deter any pest from wanting to go down there laying eggs or crawling around. It's not going to completely stop them or break their life cycle, but it's just another deterrent to keep them from wanting to be on top of that soil and for chopping up any of the ones that are on the soil. And then last but not least is the Spinaside products. Spinaside is a very interesting story. If you've already heard about it, then you know, but if not, if you like to do some reading, check it out. The short of it is basically that a spinoside is a bacterium that was found in soil outside of an abandoned rum distillery in the Caribbean in 1982 by a vacationing scientist. So it's an interesting story. Check it out if you like to read. But he definitely picked up on something there. Isolated it, and ever since it's been killing thrips. The way it kills thrips is through ingestion and through contact. So not only if they ingest leaf tissue with it on it, but if they even get it on top of them or touch them or run through it, it's going to affect them, which is awesome because it has a long residual use for low usage rates, and it's really effective because it not only kills on ingestion but also on contact. The way it kills thrips is through excitation of the nervous system, which is basically causes the thrips to have tremors and seizures and eventually paralysis of the thrip. So it's a really easy way to kill them, and really effective. Some of the perks of the Spinaside: it's organic, naturally occurring, gentle on plants. There's no special handling instructions with Spinaside, and it's also safe for aquatic organisms as well as mammals. So it's a very safe, gentle product, and no need to be scared when you're using it. And it's really effective against thrips. A lot of guys that have been fighting thrips for a long time or have fought thrips in the past, they might have went to a shop and got directed to maybe a more general purpose insecticide, pesticide, like the Zero Tolerance or the Azomax, Azotrol. But any of those are going to do damage against them, but not really single them out as much as Spinaside seems to. You'll notice that with a lot of pest control, certain active ingredients seem to target other pests other than maybe another one, and in this scenario Spinaside is by far the best for thrip control. We've all used it ourselves, and we have some greenhouses here that we use, and we use it inside there as well. So I hope this video helped you guys out. If you've had thrips before, you know they can be a pain, but they can be put under control with proper treatment. On that note, I would recommend making sure you keep a real clean garden. If you're doing any kind of gardening work at this time of year and you're outside a lot, make sure you clean yourself up, shower, change your clothes before you go into your actual garden, and don't contaminate yourself and give yourself this problem. So, well, yep, all this stuff's available at 4hydroponics.com, and I hope this video got you going in the right direction, and we'll check you guys next time.